So what is an orgasm really? If you strip away all the poetry and whispered sweet nothings, you get a rather mechanical, albeit delightful, biological event. At its core, an orgasm is a reflex. It's the peak moment of sexual excitement, a sudden, intense release of all the tension that's been building up. Think of it like a sneeze, you can feel it coming. The pressure builds and builds, and then, achoo, everything lets go. The body's nervous system goes into a brief, wonderful overdrive. It's a powerful involuntary series of muscle contractions in the pelvic region, controlled by the spinal cord. It's pure primal biology doing its thing. From a scientific standpoint, this reflex is designed to feel incredibly good, to encourage us to have sex and make more humans. Nature is clever that way. It dangles this amazing reward in front of us to ensure the survival of the species. When you're in the throes of it, your brain is flooded with a cocktail of feel-good chemicals. Oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, promotes bonding. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure and reward. It's the same chemical that lights up your brain when you eat a piece of chocolate cake or when you win a prize. So an orgasm is basically your body's own built-in fireworks show, a chemical light display. This process involves a whole symphony of bodily responses. Your heart rate skyrockets, your blood pressure climbs, you might find yourself breathing as if you've just run a short sprint. These changes are part of the excitement phase leading up to the main event. For both men and women, the body prepares in similar ways. Blood rushes to the genital area, causing tissues to swell and become more sensitive. When we look at the physical parts involved, the differences between men and women seem obvious. But they're more closely related than you might think. A man's penis and a woman's clitoris actually come from the same embryonic tissue. Think of them as cousins, or maybe even siblings separated at birth. The clitoris is, in many ways, a smaller internal version of the penis. Most of it is hidden inside the body, but the visible part, the glans, has about 8,000 nerve endings. That's roughly double the number found on the head of the penis. This incredible density of nerves is why the clitoris is so exquisitely sensitive and is the primary source of female orgasm. For men, the orgasm is typically tied to ejaculation. The two events are very closely linked, but they are not the same thing. Orgasm is the feeling of pleasure in the brain and the muscle contractions in the pelvis. Ejaculation is the physical expulsion of semen. This process is a one-way street for most men. The buildup of pressure in the prostate and seminal vesicles leads to a point of no return, followed by a series of rhythmic contractions that push semen out. This event is fairly standardized and predictable. It's a straightforward system designed for one main purpose: reproduction. The pleasure is the brilliant incentive that makes the whole system work. Women, on the other hand, have a more versatile setup. The female body is like a concert hall with amazing acoustics, where pleasure can resonate from several different points. The experience isn't confined to one single pathway. This difference in anatomy explains a lot about the different experiences. If you were to ask men to describe their orgasm, you might hear a lot of similar words. Explosive, eruptive, a sudden release. The feeling is often described as building to an inevitable peak, like a volcano about to blow. There's a distinct moment, often called ejaculatory inevitability, where the man knows it's about to happen, and there's no stopping it. This is followed by a series of intense, pulsating contractions at the base of the penis. The sensation is powerful, focused, and concludes relatively quickly. It's a sharp, satisfying spike of pleasure that then rapidly fades into a warm, relaxed afterglow. For women, the descriptions are often more varied and poetic. Waves, ripples, glowing a deep warmth. A female orgasm can feel like it starts deep inside and radiates outward, or it might be a sharp electric sensation centered on the clitoris. Some women describe it as a slow burn that builds into a powerful crescendo, while others experience it as a sudden, surprising jolt. It doesn't always have that same sense of inevitability as the male orgasm. It can be more elusive, sometimes requiring more time and the right kind of stimulation to achieve. This feeling of release is universal, even if the journey and sensations differ between the sexes. After a man has an orgasm, his body enters what scientists call the refractory period. This is a recovery phase during which he can't get another erection or have another orgasm. It's like a built-in cool-down mode. The length of this period varies wildly from person to person and changes with age. For a young man, it might be just a few minutes. For an older man, it could be several hours or even a full day. During this time, the penis is often hypersensitive, and trying to stimulate it can be uncomfortable or even painful. The body is essentially saying, okay, that's enough for now, give me a minute. The exact reason isn't fully understood, but it likely involves a hormone called prolactin. After ejaculation, the brain releases a surge of prolactin. Prolactin suppresses dopamine, and dopamine fuels sexual arousal. With prolactin high and dopamine low, desire and physical ability to get aroused are temporarily switched off. It's the body's way of resetting. Think of it as a factory shutting down to retool. This is a major difference between male and female orgasms. Most women do not have a refractory period. For many women, one orgasm can make another easier right away. The clitoris remains engorged and sensitive, and the brain is already primed with feel-good chemicals. That makes multiple orgasms possible. Instead of a single peak and shutdown, a woman can have a series of peaks if stimulation continues. Some women report several in quick succession, prolonging pleasure. Masters and Johnson documented a woman having 26 orgasms in a row. Not typical, but it shows the female body's capacity. Some women are multi-orgasmic, some are not, some experience it sometimes and not others. It depends on many factors, including the type of stimulation, her energy levels, and her emotional state. Absence of a refractory period means the door to another orgasm stays open. For men, that door is closed and locked for a while after the first one. It's a fundamental difference in the wiring of sexual response. When it comes to duration, there's a clear difference. The male orgasm is a brief affair. The intense, pleasurable contractions usually last for about 3 to 10 seconds. It's a short, powerful burst, over in a flash, from the point of no return to the final contraction. Pleasure may linger as a warm afterglow, but the main event is remarkably quick. It's a sprint, not a marathon. The buildup can take a long time, yet the finish line is crossed in seconds. The female orgasm tends to last longer. On average, contractions can last about 20 seconds or more. That's significantly longer than the male experience. It's not always one continuous event. For some women, it's a series of waves, contractions ebbing and flowing. This extended duration feels deeper and more encompassing. Less a single explosion, more a sustained fireworks display with multiple bursts. Then there's the matter of quantity. Most men are limited to a single orgasm before a refractory period kicks in. It's a one-and-done deal, at least for a while. The body is designed for a single, decisive release. Women, however, can have multiple orgasms in one encounter. With no refractory period, continued stimulation can lead to orgasm after orgasm. What happens in our brains during orgasm is a wild, colorful light show. Using fMRI scanners, scientists can watch the brain during climax. What they've found is fascinating. Huge areas of the brain light up. For men, for women, reward circuits go into overdrive. This same area reacts to delicious food-addictive drugs listening to your favorite music. It's the brain's pleasure center having the party of its life. Some parts actually shut down. One is the lateral orbitofrontal cortex located just behind the left eye. It handles reasoned decision-making, self-control. During orgasm, it goes quiet. That may explain feelings of losing control being transported elsewhere. Your inner critic takes a vacation. Here's a fun fact that might surprise you. You don't actually need your genitals to have an orgasm. Some people who have had spinal cord injuries are still able to experience orgasm. In these cases, the pleasure signals seem to travel to the brain via a different route, like the vagus nerve. This nerve bypasses the spinal cord, connects the cervix, connects the uterus directly to the brain. Another strange and wonderful phenomenon is the coregasm, or an orgasm that happens during exercise. Some people, mostly women, report experiencing orgasm while doing certain core exercises, leg lifts, climbing a pole, climbing a rope. Scientists believe this happens because intense contraction of the deep abdominal muscles, pelvic floor muscles, can stimulate the internal parts of the clitoris, other sensitive nerves in the area. It's a completely non-sexual orgasm, proving that the body's pleasure buttons can be pushed in some very unexpected ways. No wonder some people are so dedicated to their gym routines. Have you ever sneezed and thought it felt a little too good? There's a rare condition where people experience orgasm every time they sneeze. Orgasms are not just for fun, they are genuinely good for your health. Think of it as one of the most enjoyable forms of preventative medicine you can find. For starters, orgasms are fantastic stress relievers. That flood of oxytocin and endorphins that rushes through your brain during climax has a powerful, calming effect. It lowers levels of the stress hormone cortisol, leaving you feeling relaxed and blissed out. A good orgasm can be like a mini vacation for your nervous system, helping to melt away the tensions of a long day. It's nature's own anti-anxiety medication. They can also be good for your physical health. The surge in heart rate during sex is a decent cardiovascular workout. It won't replace your morning jog, but it certainly helps get the blood pumping. For men, regular ejaculation has been linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer. One large study from Harvard found that men who ejaculated more than 21 times a month had a significantly lower risk than those who did so less often. For women, the muscle contractions can help strengthen the pelvic floor, which is important for bladder control and support of the pelvic organs. Orgasms can actually help you sleep better. That same cocktail of hormones, especially oxytocin and prolactin in men, acts as a natural sedative. This is why many people feel sleepy after sex. It's not boredom, it's biology. The profound relaxation that follows an orgasm can make it easier to drift off into a deep, restful sleep. So, if you're struggling with insomnia, a little bit of vitamin O might be just what the doctor ordered. It's certainly a more pleasant remedy than counting sheep. Perhaps most importantly, orgasms are crucial for relationship health. Shared pleasure is a powerful bonding agent. The release of oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, fosters feelings of intimacy, trust, and connection with a partner. Making the effort to ensure both partners are experiencing pleasure shows care and deepens the emotional bond. It's a form of communication that goes beyond words. A satisfying sex life where both partners feel seen and valued can strengthen a relationship, making it more resilient to the challenges life throws its way. In the end, comparing male and female orgasms is like comparing a rock concert to a symphony orchestra. One is an explosive, high-energy event with a clear, powerful crescendo. The other can be a more complex, layered experience with rolling waves of sound and multiple movements. Both are incredible, powerful, deeply moving. Neither one is better than the other, they are just different. The male orgasm is a testament to biological efficiency, a brilliant and straightforward design. The female orgasm is a testament to biological versatility, a complex and multifaceted wonder. The truth about orgasms is that there is no single right way to experience one. The journey is different for men and women, and it can even be different for the same person from one day to the next. Both paths lead to the same beautiful peak, a place of intense pleasure and deep connection.